Good morning, everybody. We are back over Southchurch Hall Park this morning. Last week we did a bit of cooking, but a week before we were over here at Southchurch Hall Park, and we've come back again just to enjoy a bit of the greenery and that lovely bird song that's about. There were a couple of dogs barking, and I seem to have eased off for now. So I'm up at the hall this morning. I'll just wait for a few more people to pop by. So I'll try and make the most of the sunshine this morning, and make the most of that bird song as well. Although I'm very lucky to have a garden, I'm trying not to rely solely on the garden for the well-being and feeling good. So I'm trying to get out for a stroll around to try and make the most of things. Hello, Kirsty. Good morning, Jackie. Nice to see you both. So I was just saying, I'm back over the park this morning for a bit of fresh air and for a bit of the bird song, and I was going to have a little bit of a chat about processing and the way we sort of go through things, experience things, and then have another little chat about our lens, and particularly our sort of appreciation and beauty lens that we were talking about a week or two ago. I'm just having a little pootle around at the moment. The daisies are coming out fine, looking really nice. I think the daisies and daffodils are taking over my garden. I'm going to have to do a bit of grass seeding, I think. But yeah, Southchurch is very quiet this morning, very chilled. There's still some kids going to school, and all the key workers are out doing their thing. And as well as the other things I was going to talk about today, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, actually, the sort of key workers situation. In that my brother-in-law's a doctor, and I know a few nurses and things, and I think they're feeling it a bit of a mixed message, that everyone's sort of appreciating them so much and sort of calling them heroes and things, but that also can be a bit of pressure on them as well. So just bear in mind, if you are sort of putting people on a bit of a pedestal at the moment, as far as sort of the doctors and key workers and nurses and even the postmen and everyone else that are going to work at the moment, just bearing in mind that they are people like us as well, with all their own anxieties and issues and families and homes to run and everything else. So again, yeah, it's great to show a lot of appreciation for the key workers and everyone, but just bear in mind that hopefully we're not putting on them too much as well as appreciating them, because that could probably be a bit of pressure for people, couldn't it? If people are constantly calling you heroes and superheroes and things like that. As I say, they are only human, and we can only be superhuman to a degree, but obviously the services and everyone are appreciating the support and kindness that everyone's showing at the moment. Okay, so as I was saying, I wanted to talk a little bit about processing, and when I say processing, I mean kind of the way we take situations, experiences, and the way we sort of go through them and work out what we're going to do with them, or make decisions and things around that. And generally there seems to be two types of processing, really. there's withdrawal, where you sort of go into yourself and work through things, and then there's more sort of interacting with other people and bouncing ideas off people and working things out that way. So generally you seem to find people fall into one of those camps, and it can be particularly visible in, for instance, say an argument in a relationship, and one person needs to have a bit of alone time and work things through for themselves, and the other person really doesn't want that. They want to hash it out right there and then and do things their way. So as with all things in life, it's trying to find that bit of compromise, isn't it? Giving people or yourself that time to withdraw, to process, work things through, go through things. And then there's other times where you'll really want to work things through with someone. As I say, sort of bounce your ideas off people, evaluate your ideas or your thinking. So, I mean, can you immediately think sort of which of those you are? Or you, if you have an issue or something going on, do you generally go more into yourself, work things through, write things down, think about things? Or are you someone that more requires to talk to someone and bounce your ideas off people? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because sometimes the way we deal with things will and can change quite a lot if we're under pressure. So with COVID-19, it's an unexpected, extraordinary pressure. So you may be someone that, on your day-to-day, when you have things to work through, work out, you may, go into yourself a bit. And, but under the stress or the strain or the unexpected, you may find you're needing more to validate, bounce off, explore your ideas with other people. Again, if we don't necessarily have natural coping skills for this situation, because it's quite so different from what we're used to. So again, it's just acknowledging that either yourself or people around you, maybe when you normally have issues, as I say, you might be someone that goes more into yourself, works through things, or you may be someone that generally more talks to people. But as I say, with the sort of stress and strain, you may find you start doing the opposite. So I found that some of my more outgoing friends, in some ways, have sort of clammed up a bit or changed their sort of coping strategies as such, and they've become a bit withdrawn. So I guess it's about being a little bit sensitive to noticing the changes in behaviours in yourself and other people, really. Oh, I'm walking his dog. I think the dog's walking him, actually. Yeah, so as I say, it's ideally we would access the best of both worlds, wouldn't we? We'd go into ourselves when we need to work things through without sort of other influences, but also have access to asking people for help or to work through things. And similarly, if you're someone that normally works through things by talking to other people, it is a really valuable life skill to be able to work through your things on your own if you can. So whether that's inventories of what you need to do, like we were saying before about perception, checking your reactions to things, noticing patterns and correlations, what works, what doesn't. There you go. It's very nice over here today. Didn't realise it was quite so warm. and it is warm indeed. Okay. Oh, with a nice comment from Elizabeth. Yeah, yeah. As I say, it is really important that people are getting out for their well-being walks and things, and as long as you are socially distancing, um, then you're doing all the right things. I think we've had a bit mixed messages on the mask front at the moment, but I'm seeing probably about the same, maybe a few more people wearing masks at the moment. Yeah, so we're over Southchurch Hall Park this morning in Southchurch, Southend, and you can see the pond down there, quite still, just the light dappling off it. Okay, and again, to come back to sort of what we were chatting about a couple of weeks ago about our sort of lens and looking at things and trying to use our appreciation lens, our beauty lens. There's a lot, for instance, up a park where there is lots of beauty and things to appreciate, and it just takes you out of yourself a little bit from the butterflies flying around to just the way that the birds get a little bit louder when there's a break in the clouds. As I say, just appreciation, these little things that either they similarly bring us out of ourselves, also tie us a bit closer to nature and the land as well. And it's really important to feel your connection to things at the moment and feel good. So let's go and have a little look at the water. Oh, I think all the terrapins are having a bit of sun this morning. Let's go and have a look at them. And we've got the nice sound of running water. So it's pretty chill. Let's see. There's quite a few of the guys out today. There we go. See how close we can get. There we go. They're loving that sunshine, aren't they? A few of them got their heads right up to it. There we go. Sometimes there's a couple over here. And sometimes there's loads. About 9 of them there this morning. Looking pretty cool. There's a couple of ducks and bits over there. So again, it's just looking to nature and the things around us and being pleased by them. It's really important just to feel pleased and relaxed. And a big part of that comes from our environment. So even if you can just temporarily change your environment for a bit, it can be quite a bit of good. And just appreciating all the little cunning ways the branches and flowers and things have grown to find their little spot and where they fit into the landscape. And I think that's, in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to get across at the moment is trying to find your little space in your home and in society and in what's going on at the moment. And part of that is coming to and being around nature, and part of that is going within, seeing what we think and feel about things, and part of that is bouncing off other people. So like I was saying about processing, you need that time to go into yourself and work through things, and it's really important to talk as well. So it's really nice we've had Janet and Ben pass by. I knew you weren't going to shave your hair off, Ben. Uh, there was no way you were going to do it, was there? It's too much of your character and your style and your charm. Okay, well, maybe I've just said a lot about nothing, or maybe you've been able to take something from that. Main thing is just take care, look after yourself, look after the people around you. Try not to give too much of yourself away or spread yourself too thin. And you know you, so you know what's good for you. You know what works and what doesn't. Okay. Well, I think the weather's hopefully giving everyone a lift after it was a bit manco last week. I think it's really making a difference at the moment. A bit of sunshine. Seem to notice things more when it's nice and bright. And that's really nice, just the sound of running water. A bit of mindfulness. It's soothing, isn't it? So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I've found myself watching a lot of sort of YouTube and things on sort of crafts, like people making ponds and terrariums, aquariums and things. In fact, just watching anything where someone's quite calm and competent, just yeah, just enjoying people that are calm and concise in what they're doing, and or sort of encouraging as well. And there's a lot of that stuff on YouTube, sort of arts and crafts, gardening, and from all other sources. So take a bit of time to try and get inspired, because whatever you're into or used to be into, and then life got in the way and we've stopped doing, there's a lot of roots back into doing things, arts and crafts and the rest of it. So as I say, do the things that please you, or go to places that please you. Well, it's really calm over here. Okay, I'm going to leave you with all that green and the birds singing and the running water and some good vibes. All right, everyone take care now and enjoy the rest of the day's broadcast. And we'll speak soon. Have a good one, everyone. Take care now.